we have a new map that has been put out of the Earth's groundwater supply, showing exactly where the planet's water is being locked up and hidden underground. Now, they're saying that this map is a first of its kind type of map, providing a visual presentation of the Earth's groundwater resources all over the planet, as you can see here. What's interesting to note is where you see these deposits sitting. If you pay attention here, you'll see that in the Amazon basin compared to the Congo African basin over here, it has a lot more groundwater supplies. And then the rest of Africa, the heart of Africa, they're essentially dry when it comes to underground resources. Now, this is also just what they're telling us. You have to always keep that in mind. But when it comes to the United States, in Mexico, what's interesting is Mexico has a lot of deep deposit pockets, as you can see here, all over the place, even up to the West Coast and Pacific Northwest in the United States. Now, some of these aquifers they're tapping into today, and some of them they have, especially in California, they've dumped these toxic chemicals from fracking back into the earth, thinking that it was an empty well, and it wasn't, and contaminated good drinking water. Now, they say that modern water is good, and what they mean by that is within the past 100 years, rain that is at a depth to where it can be filtered with new rainwater and things of that nature. But some of it is so deep and so far down and been there for so long, they say there's uranium and other elements in water pockets like that, and that it's stagnant and that it would be of no good to humans. Some of it even saltier than ocean water. But what doesn't make sense to me with that statement is any of it, because they can take any form of water and clean it. Even the desalination plants on the West Coast now that are taking salt water from the ocean and turning it into good water. I mean, there's a process for all that, but what I did note here in the United States is right up the middle, right up the gut. You'll see some deep pockets, especially down here around New Orleans. Now, this is the mouth of the Mississippi down here, and this cuts right on up the Mississippi to where you see a line that comes across. That cut right there is in the neck of the woods of New Madrid. Now, when you want to talk about the salt dome that sits there in the Gulf of Mexico, that if it was to be busted or a hole punctured in it to where it started to cave in, anything of that nature, it could cause a lot of disruption in this area. We talked about that in the past when we talked about the massive Louisiana sinkhole, which I need to look into and do an update on, because I haven't heard about any updates on that for a long time, and it was growing rapidly back then. So it's something I think we need to stay on top of, especially in a region here that you can see is lined by underground water. That can affect faults. There can be erosion, things of that nature. It can affect faults in a lot of places. But I just wanted to share with you guys this map. That way you have an idea of where a lot of the Earth's underground water lays and where the closest spot to you may be. This has been Dabu7. Peace.